In the second round, with the 41st overall pick of the NBA draft, the Milwaukee Bucks selected Jody Meeks. On his Twitter page, Meeks thanked all of his supporters and said he was truly blessed. Bucks GM John Hammond said he believed Meeks was one of the top-notch shooters in the draft and that he could be one of the best defenders as well.
I can just tell you, if you would have walked into our draft board over the last week, we had Meeks as a first-round player. No way. We didn't even have him in our second-round grouping because we thought there was no way he would get there. And he continued to slip, and we kept thinking to ourselves, well, he'll be gone before 41. And when he presented himself at 41, we just thought that's a great get.
John Wall hasn't even played his first game at Kentucky, and already we're talking about his protege, Rodney Purvis, who's also from Durham, North Carolina. Purvis is playing this weekend here in Lexington at the Freshman All-American Camp.
Who's been exploding onto the scene this spring, and he's a rising freshman from Raleigh, North Carolina, just like John. So he models John in every way. He's an outstanding athlete, very explosive. I think fans that come out will enjoy watching him.
Tomorrow, Matthew Mitchell and the UK women's basketball team will take one more step toward their goal of 5,000 season ticket holders when they hold 5K for 5K at Memorial Coliseum. Now, you've guessed it, it's a 5K run/walk beginning at 8:30. That's in the a.m. The race will start and finish at Memorial Coliseum. John Calipari will be the honorary starter for the race, which Mitchell says he's going to win in a walk. He may be walking. A Michael Jackson tribute tonight at Applebee's Park. Legends taking on the Bowling Green Hot Rods in a doubleheader. Lexington won Game 1 4-2, and they had Jordan Lyles on the hill for Game 2. Lyles gets into trouble on the first base hit to left with runners on first and second. Here comes the throw to the plate. Toast! Ring him up! The Hot Rods would eventually break through first. They win this one 9-2. Aaron Harang and the Reds got taken to the woodshed tonight by the Cleveland Indians. Harang gives up 5 earned runs and 4 2/3 as the Indians beat the Reds 9-2. Now, you may or may not have noticed, but for the past 2 weeks, I've been away. My wife Amanda and I went to Italy for a vacation, and every time I go anywhere, sort of kind of feel like Clark W. Griswold. So here's a look at the Spencers taking Italy. I certainly felt like a pack mule for much of this vacation, but our first view of Rome, the Colosseum, a venue that once sat 70,000 strong, a stadium only fitting for a true gladiator. The next day, we visited St. Peter's Basilica, and we were privileged to witness the Pope give a live Mass. That's him to the right of this guy's ear. Our next stop, Florence and Tuscany, which was highlighted by a 15-mile bike tour through a portion of Tuscany. We saw unbelievable views of Florence and the countryside along our journey. Of course, 9 miles up a mountain may have been a little too much for Amanda. Then it was on to Venice, and the pictures do not do it justice. At this point, the wife was getting a little put out with all the sightseeing. Now, have I ever told you about my love of food and dirty snacking? Well, this pigeon shares that same love, much to my dismay, which brings us to the food. Man, I'm still hungry. Second round of the Travelers. Kenny Perry pars the entire back nine and still holds on to a 2-shot lead. So even though this putt doesn't go down, it is still our Jack Kane Ford play of the day.